Hi friends, I wonder if I'm the only one who feels like the world's gone completely mad. In Chicago, a jury decided to correct a judicial mistake and awarded 32-year-old Cedius Jimenez $25 million in compensation. Sounds generous, just half a lifetime behind bars, and here's the check. Almost like a cashback for a wrong item, only on scale of a human life. The story began back in 1993 when a 13-year-old boy was arrested on suspicion of murder. 2 trials, a guilty verdict, 45 years of prison, the usual routine. Later, however, one of the witnesses suddenly remembered that he had lied a bit, and the real killer confessed. But why rush the truth? After all, it took the state nearly 2 decades to realize, seems we mixed up the kid with the murderer. The lawyer of the wrongfully convicted victim cheerfully announced that this was the largest compensation of his entire career. A great reason to be proud. The client lost his youth and half of his life, but the attorney can now boast about it at professional conferences. The Illinois Department of Justice, however, decided that $25 million way too much. Of course. They only locked up an innocent teenager for 17 years. A free burger coupon and a subway pass would have been more than enough, right? The most ironic part, Sedos likely won't get his millions anytime soon. He was convinced again, this time for drugs possession. What a plot twist. He finally got out of prison due to a mistake and instantly stumbled into trouble for real. Fate clearly decided to turn his life into a TV series, where every episode ends with another arrest. They say street food in Thailand is never-ending adventure. Fragrant dishes, bold spices, and unexpected surprises. But one resident of Ubon Ratchathani clearly wasn't expecting this kind of surprise. After buying a delicious-looking portion of street food, the man casually unwrapped it and instantly lost his appetite. Instead of regular paper or a banana leaf, his meal was neatly wrapped in a hospital form. And not just a blank form, but an actual medical document belonging to a patient with hepatitis B. Surname, diagnosis, test results, the full set of things that absolutely shouldn't be found between noodles and chicken. Naturally, the customer shared his discovery online, and social media exploded with comments, from "that's some next level sterility" to "never eating street food again." The Government Personal Data Protection Committee quickly stepped in, and soon it became clear that this wasn't a one-off scrap of paper. Around 1,000 such documents had leaked from a private hospital. The clinic's administration decided to save money and handed all records over to a small family business for disposal, but didn't bother to supervise the process. The family firm figured out that paper is just paper and sold it to resellers, who then used it as a raw material to wrap food. Under the Personal Data Protection Law, the hospital was fined 37,000 US dollars, while the family business received a much humbler 520 US dollar penalty. And although experts assured that hepatitis B cannot be transmitted through the paper, the very fact that the snack is wrapped in someone's blood test results leaving a lingering aftertaste stronger than any chili. In the end, the moral is simple. In Thailand, you should check not only the fresh how fresh the food is, but also the literal value of the wrapper. Who knows? Tomorrow your fried rice might come served on someone's medical chart or on an old X-ray. In 2012, the British government published a list of people who had declined honorary awards and titles of the British Crown between 1951 and 1999. The list included 277 individuals, with only those who were already deceased mentioned. The publication marked the first official confirmation that many people had refused prestigious honors. Their information was released at the request of the public organization that monitors compliance with the right to access data. A government representative noted that refusals account for only about 2% of all awards offered. Among those on the list were well-known figures in art and literature. Alfred Hitchcock, for instance, declined to become a commander of the Order of British Empire in 1962, although in 1980, shortly before the death, he accepted the title of Knight Commander. Artist Lawrence Stephen Lowry refused honors 5 times. In 55, the title of Officer of the Order, in 61, Commander, in 68, Knight Commander, and in 72 and 76, the titles of Companion of Honor. Artist Francis Bacon declined the title of Commander in 1960, and Lucian Freud refused the same award in 1977. Among the writers on the list were Ronald Dole, who in 1986 chose not to become an officer of an order, C.S. Lewis, who declined the title of Commander in 1952, and Evelyn Waugh, who refused the same title in 1959. Thus, the published list shows that even the most prestigious awards were not always accepted by outstanding cultural and artistic figures. It's only Donald Trump gets happy when he is given a medal which does not belong to him, was not awarded to him, and which he didn't deserve at all. The US Postal Service, as it turns out, can deliver not only mail, but also the perfect plot for a criminal sitcom. 31-year-old Mary Ann Magdamit apparently decided long ago that the salary of an ordinary postal worker was far too boring and far too modest for her ambitions. So the enterprising lady moved from sorting envelopes to sorting other people's bank cards and checks. Some valuable mail Mary kept for herself, while other items she sent into circulation through trusted associates. And if anyone thinks that a successful criminal enterprise requires at least minimal secrecy, Mary strongly disagrees. While postal customers were fuming over missing cards, she happily posted photos of social media, flaunting slacks of cash, beach-style vacations, the luxury shopping sprees at Balenciaga, Hermes, Dior, and Louis Vuitton. To complete the picture, diamond Rolex on her wrist and a brand new Tesla parked outside. Makes perfect sense. If you are going to break the law, do it with a sparkle and in your stories. But American investigators weren't born yesterday either. They quietly installed a camera in the Mary's postal van, and soon she was caught red-handed, right in the middle of inventorying other people's mail. Now US-Philippines dual citizen faces up to 30 years in prison. Still, she's having plenty of glamorous memories. Parties, brands, and diamonds, excellent material for reminiscing behind bars. The main thing is that the prison cafeteria does not run out of Wi-Fi. Otherwise, she'll have to recount her achievements out loud and without any supporting pictures. What do you think about it? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts, my friends. Share them down in the comments. I'll be reading them all.